my dear students, I hope you all are fine and doing well. So in the previous video we have discussed the first component of our air, that is nitrogen. So in this video we are going to start our next component of air, that is oxygen, and you all know that our air contains 21% of oxygen. So let's start with oxygen. So firstly in this we will read about combustion. So what is combustion? Combustion is a chemical reaction that produces heat and light. So the most common form of combustion is fire, and most forms of combustion happens when oxygen combines with another substances. So we can say that it is a chemical reaction that produces heat and light, but there is a condition that when oxygen combines with another substances. So combustion is a chemical reaction that produces heat and light when oxygen combines with the another substances, and its common form is fire. For example, when wood burns, the oxygen in the air combines with the carbon in the wood. So the condition follow in this case that oxygen combines with the carbon that is present in the wood. Then what will happen? Then it produces heat and light. So combustion takes place. So next one is materials that burn in air producing large amount of heat energy are called the fuel. When anything burns, then that thing produces a large amount of heat, that is called fuel, and we need fuel for cooking and in industries also. So these fuels are of three types. First one is fuel that exists in the solid state, second one is fuel that exists in the liquid state, and the third one is fuel that exists in the gaseous states. So there are three types of fuels. So let's see the first type of fuel. So fuels that exist in solid state at room temperature, that are called the solid fuels. For example, wood, charcoal, cow dung cake, agricultural waste and coal. These are the solid fuels. Next one is the liquid fuel. So the fuels that exist in liquid state at room temperature are called the liquid fuels. For example, petrol, kerosene oil, diesel and fuel oil. These are the examples of liquid fuel. So the third fuel is gaseous fuel, means the fuel that exists in the gaseous state at room temperature, that fuels are called the gaseous fuels. For example, natural gas, petroleum gas and biogas. These are the examples of gaseous fuels. So now we will see some characteristics of fuels. First characteristic is it should be cheap and easily available. So the fuels that is present in the solid, liquid and gaseous states, these are cheap and easily available. Then it should be convenient to transport and store, means it can be easily transport and store also. Then it should not catch fire at normal temperature. Next point is it should have high calorific value. So what is calorific value here? Calorific value is the amount of heat produced by 1 gram of a fuel. So the heat produced by the 1 gram of the fuel is called its calorific value. So the next one is hydrogen as a fuel. So hydrogen is considered as a best fuel because it has highest calorific value. And what is calorific value? Means the amount of heat produced by the 1 gram of a fuel. However, it is highly inflammable, so there are difficulties associated with its transport, because it is highly inflammable, and also there is a difficulty for its storage and handling. It is therefore used as a fuel where it is absolutely necessary. Means this is used only those places where it is highly necessary. For example, as a rocket fuel. So, this hydrogen fuel is used as a rocket fuel. So, next one is methane and liquefied petroleum gas, and means LPG. LPG means liquefied petroleum gas. So, both methane and LPG have fairly high calorific values. They burn with a smokeless fire, means they are not producing any smokeless fire. Therefore, they do not cause pollution. So, methane and LPG, these gases does not produce any pollution. They are ideal for the domestic fuels. LPG is obtained by the fractional distillation of petroleum. So, LPG gas is obtained by the process that is called fractional distillation of petroleum. Then compressed natural gas, that is CNG. It is used for a fuel for automobiles. So, in case of automobiles, CNG is used, but for domestic works, LPG is used. So, this CNG is cheaper and less polluting than the other fuels. So, that is why it is used for automobiles. Next one is petrol and diesel as a fuel. Both petrol and diesel are mainly used in automobiles, and their main disadvantage is their limited availability, and another disadvantage is their combustion release the harmful gases in the atmosphere that are very harmful for us. So, these are the fuels. Next part is respiration. So, oxygen is the most important gas for keeping us alive. Without oxygen, we cannot survive, because our body cells need it for respiration to get energy from food. So, with the help of oxygen, we respirate. Okay, we breathe with the help of oxygen. So, the main purpose of respiration is to produce energy from glucose and oxygen. It is a complicated cycle because it produces carbon dioxide and water when we breathe out, and breathing and respiration are the two different processes, because in breathing we inhale oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide, but in case of respiration it takes place in all the body cells and it provides us energy. Okay? So, these are the two different processes. So, this is the reaction that takes place in case of respiration, means food plus oxygen, they will give energy, water vapors and carbon dioxide. So, in hospital, oxygen is used for artificial respiration for patients. So, oxygen is used for the artificial respiration. For this, oxygen is stored in cylinders just like a cooking gas. Then divers who go under the sea carry oxygen cylinders with them, as air is insufficient in deep seas. Okay? So, in deep seas air is insufficient, so that is why they carry oxygen cylinders with them for the artificial respiration. So, mountaineers also carries oxygen cylinders as the air becomes less dense at the high altitude. So, at the high altitude the amount of air is less, so that is why they carry oxygen cylinders for the artificial respiration. So, these are the uses of the oxygen, that is, it is used for the combustion and respiration.